Well, you were excited about this, and why not as well, from the Manic Street features.
I love the Manics.
When you knew that Nicky Wire was going to come on and talk, you said, well, they've got to hear the Australia.
Yeah, I've got to have Australia.
Well, of course, and absolutely right all the way. Nicky Wire, of course, bassist and songwriter for the Manic Street Preachers, joins us now on talkSPORT from Wales. Nicky, you're not out here yet. I understand you're coming out for the second test. A very good morning to you.
Hello, Nicky.
Morning to you both, boys. Morning to you both.
Oh, I bet you were here. I bet you were sitting alongside Brian Moore at the moment. He needs calming down. He's getting himself into a right old tiz, you know, about this game.
Well, I got to say, back in the 90s, I was singer James. Had a few nights out with Brian. Two good nights out, if you can still remember.
Did he tell you that I took 50 quid off him once?
He
And a bet?
did. He did.
I wasn't. I tell you what, I wasn't going to take it off him, but I thought, no, wait a minute, he's a multi-millionaire pop star. And you know what he did? He brought out this one of 50s and gave me one. He peeled one off, as if to say, there you are, peasant. It was fantastic.
Oh,
no, they were good times. Good times. I'm very excited. I got butterflies. It's like Christmas morning, isn't it? It's a magical day.
Yeah, Brian was saying that he was a Cardiff fan, and of course you're a Newport Gwent Dragon fan, aren't you?
Well, I live in the area, yes. Hasn't been the best of times for the Dragons, but
No.
all our best players get poached by rich French clubs, you know. It's a tough life.
Let's talk a little bit about your sporting background first of all, not just about your love of Welsh rugby, of course, but there could have been a time when you could have been the next Gareth Bale, because you played for the Welsh under-14 football side, didn't you? And both Spurs and Arsenal were interested in you.
Yeah, I was, you know, I was captain of the district, and I played for the trials and stuff like that, but saggers, I discovered rock and roll when I was 15, and there was no turning back.
No, absolutely, I can completely understand that at that stage. But the sporting thing has always been very much part of your life.
Oh, it really has, you know, it's just, whether it's been the Olympics or boxing or, you know, football, rugby, it's just something that's kind of kept me going through. You need a distraction in music, I think, sometimes, and sport provides that. It's such a great relief, you know.
Can you tell us why, you know, you've got a football background and obviously, you know, a rugby background. Can you tell me why you're excited like this? Because it's a Lions thing. Why is that?
Because it's such a rare beast. It's like first morning of the Olympics, first game of the Football World Cup. Every 4 years, you know, I remember your tour, especially, Brian, in 1989 in Australia, you know, the massive punch-ups, Robert Jones stamping on Nick Jones and little timid Robert, and that was the first one ingrained in my memory. And then you go back and watch Barry John in 71 playing some of the most sublime rugby I've ever seen, you know, on YouTube and stuff. So it's just such a rare beast, you know, and it's just great to feel everyone coming together and being a Lion.
You know, I think that we all like to move and look forward, but you're absolutely right with that as well. There's something still, I think, for real fans, that you don't want the same thing happening every year. You do want this little bit time of having to wait, to having to anticipate, to see what the sort of next generation that are emerging are going to do with the one previously, and come together like this. Perhaps the Ryder Cup, in a sense, does it in. But the Olympics, as you mentioned, when you perhaps get the big squads coming together, but actually as a team, I think this is now unique in the world, isn't it?
Yeah, and you just don't know what's going to happen. I mean, are we undercut? Are they undercut? You haven't seen 3 new caps. It's just, I'd love to say I knew what was going to happen, but I literally have no idea. We could blast them off the pitch like 12 years ago, or it could be just a kicking duel. I mean, it's just so exciting.
I'll tell you what, you've got 8 Welshmen playing tonight, though. What a start that's going to be for the boys.
Oh, it is amazing. I mean, the championship this year is such a special moment, beating England. But, you know, you forget all that when it comes to this. All national, I'm sure Brian will tell you, just come together. You know, and it's like,
if you can.
Lee Calder was Brian's captain, and what a captain he was, you know.
I tell you what, what's always interested me, the similarities possibly, you know, about his performance in front of crowds and live performances. You know, when you're on stage, and things are going, because you have good gigs and bad gigs, don't you? If things are going not too well, is there anything you can actually do to say, you know, for me as a band to say, right, let's whatever's gone before, let's forget this. Let's start now and let's have a decent set.
A bottle of champagne and a glass of sugar usually does it. But no, it is true, Brian. Sometimes gigs turn, you know, whether it's a sense of humour, you smash a guitar, you do a jump, James cracks a gag or just does an amazing solo. I mean, James is one of the greatest guitarists of his generation, but he gets more nervous. than anyone. He's like Neil Jenkins used to be. He's virtually throwing up before a gig, you know. So, it affects everyone differently.
Yeah, and were there times when the anticipation to do a big concert was even more special than at other times, or did they basically all feel that way?
I think we played the Millennium Stadium obviously on the night of the Millennium to 66,000 people, and that was, off the stratosphere, really. I've never felt that kind of adrenaline rush. It was just staggering. It really was. To walk on stage in your national stadium and see that sea of people wanting, to celebrate was amazing.
Now I meet lots of businessmen who try to find all sorts of excuses to go around the world to watch basically sport and nothing else. But of course, you've got this great excuse. You can actually say, well, let's have a Lions tour. Let's get out there and do a bit of work. And why don't we go to Australia?
It seemed like a pipe dream, but James's idea after the euphoria, especially in the championship, and we just thought, well, we'll play the Friday night before Melbourne. There's going to be so many Lions fans there. They want to come along and, just play our greatest bits. And then we're going to hop over to New Zealand in between as well. So finish up in Sydney, hopefully winning a Test series.
Well, I tell you, Nicky, I'm going to find a way to get in to the festival hall on Friday because I love the Manics. I'm going to be there.
Right, it'd be good to see you. Very good to see you. James will give you that extra 50 quid.
Oh, even so.
So, come on, I mean, you said we can't tell what's going to happen tonight, and none of us can. There's so many unknowns. What is known, of course, is the Lions have never been beaten in Brisbane, and none of these Australians have ever played against a Lion, so something is going to have to give tonight. But you just feel it's the big players on these occasions, and for me, Paul O'Connell and Brian O'Driscoll themselves, those sort of guys in a dressing room, I think could really make a difference tonight.
Yeah, I think the Aussies will really target Sexton and Phillips. They'll try and mess them around. They'll try and stop quick ball. And, those players are key. O'Connell is going to lead from the front with Alan Wynne-Jones. But it could come down to Lee Penny, knocking over a 50-yard penalty. He's been kicking just stunningly. So
metronomic, he's been brilliant, hasn't
he? He's such a great bloke. He's just so unfussy, you never do anything. Just practices more than anyone, I think, and just a bit like Johnny was back in the day. I think just total dedication.
Hey Nicky, it's been great talking to you. You won't be able to wait to get out here. You've got to just a little bit longer. It's going to be a great match this morning, and I hope you have a fab tour.
Best of luck for the tour. Yep.
Cheers, boys. I was going to say the coverage of the O2 has been brilliant as well. I really enjoyed it.
No, that's very kind of you as well. But something special that Friday in Melbourne, and then off to the.
I'm going. I'm going. I'm going to.
Okay, that's all right. We'll sort something out for you. He's been out with the koala bears, Nicky, yesterday. You can't believe. I had Brian, and we haven't done it all yet, but he also met a Tasmanian devil, which was quite extraordinary, and then a duck-billed platypus, and I think he's probably related to all of them. Nicky, lovely to talk to you. Okay, take care. That's Nicky.
Good to speak to you.
Okay. Oh well, it's all to do with design anyway, isn't it?